G'day viewers, I've tracked down a problem with this machine. There's actually nothing physically wrong with the motherboard in this computer. Because it's a P5LP LE ASUS board, and it's specifically made for HP, there is absolutely no drivers I can find made for this motherboard. There is none. It's one of those OEM ones where you just install Windows and just generic drivers work. Well, in that case, it's failed miserably with this board because all the blue screens on this thing's ever had two blue screens since I put 64-bit Windows 7 on this thing. Had two blue screens, both driver related. And every other one before that, before I reformatted it, was driver related. There is no official just drivers for that board, it's just generic. Blue screen view, that's what I used. This looks at all the dump files that Windows stores and it codes them out for me. Kind of like an onboard diagnostic program, which is pretty cool. System thread exception not handled. The Wi-Fi mini port driver, it's a generic Wi-Fi adapter. The Wi-Fi, it's an rail link it uses, but I didn't have to install it, just worked straight away. It was Wi-Fi and one was bloody, no, it was heaps here. Here's a 9. How did I get that long ago? I've reformatted this thing completely. Really? Huh. I must have recovered this because I didn't actually zero fill the hard drive. So this is just recovered from I recovered these when I reinstalled everything. Rail link, that's it uses rail link. It crashed, that was also part of what caused blue screens. Not all of them are. Well, let's see here. That one is on the blue screen, isn't there? These ones here aren't blue screens, they're just looking at what the DLL files are. This one here is the actual recent blue screen it had. They're just in the Windows file list. That's what they are. They're just in the Windows system folder, and that just tells you what they are. They're not actual blue screens at all. But that's what I got recently, the other day. The blue screen was system thread exception not handled. Native Wi-Fi mini port driver. I'm going to try and search for this board, P5LP-LE. There is absolutely no drivers for it. It's part of the reason why it's so crashy. That's why I never buy HP products. Ever since HP stopped making test equipment in the 70s, this company would teamed up with Yokogawa. They made some good test equipment. But now, they are a rubbish company. Never buy anything from them. Even their printers are crap. Expensive, bloody ink wasting, bloody crap they are. Yeah, I've never been a fan of HP recently. Pretty much since they bought out Compaq, I've hated HP products. Let's see, P5LP. Oh, here it is. I just cannot find nothing related to it. It's just ASUS made that board specifically as an OEM, HP, Hewlett Packard. I go on the HP support center. I'll have a look around and see what I can find, but I didn't find much last time. Aha, I found the exact technical specs of this motherboard. And it explains why it can't support a Core 2 Duo. It only supports a Pentium D and a Pentium 4 Prescott. Wow, this board ain't nothing special. And here I was, really hoping it would support a Core 2 Duo, but no. Ah well, we can't win them all, can we? Let's see, system bus, 533 MHz, 800 and 1066 MHz. Intel chipset 945P. BIOS 4MB FWH from HP BIOS with enhanced ACPI DMI Green and PMP feature plus. It's a micro ATX board, we know that. 400 MHz, the fastest is 667 MHz DDR2, up to 4 GB only. Oh, wow, could even be less than that. Wow, this thing is a very limited. This is why I hate stuff like HP computers. It's just too limited. 4 solder connectors. Realtek onboard audio. Let's see. Intel 82562 GT. Yeah, there's nothing much special about this board. That's a board there, bare naked. The most basic motherboard specific for this OEM use. But I can't find drivers. Yeah, no drivers. After lots of research viewers, yeah, there is no drivers for this board. It's just your bog standard generic, chuck it in and she's good to go type thing. Which for the average person that knows absolutely nothing about computers, it's fine. But yeah, this one in particular, it just crashes. To the point that it crashes on blue screens every now and again. That's just bloody, what a fail on HP's behalf. Man, this thing is one generic OEM ASUS board. So at least I've confirmed, hardware wise, this board is fine. There is nothing physically wrong with the motherboard itself. It's just the firmware, HP's fault. The firmware the board uses, like, it doesn't use any sort of drivers. It's just generic. That's what the problem is, and for this board in particular, because this doesn't like Windows. It just blue screens, crashes Windows. Probably be fine with Linux. This would be a good Linux board. That's about it. That's really all this would be good for. Linux would work on anything. It won't crash because Linux is yeah, it's a bit smarter how it works for something like this anyway. Because it just finds the best stuff for this board, and it just works better than Windows in some respects. But what I was really hoping for this board was chuck a Core 2 Duo in it, but oh well, that thought's out the window. Maybe a good Linux board. Oh well, I might as well keep that hard drive and put it in one of the other computers as a backup hard drive, because I haven't backed up my other Windows 10 machine yet. That'd be a good a backup drive to put in there. You ghost everything on that and leave this as a backup drive and just unplug it, and just should something happen to the OSD on the OSD, the OS on the SSD, I can just ghost back up the hard drive and restore it. Simple as that. I'll probably pull that CPU cooler off too, put it on my Xeon computer, on my Xeon server board. That's a decent CPU heat-seeking fan, that. But I've got to put it back at the board and pull the other board out, put it back on. That's going to be a challenge. Yeah, well. It's very problematic with Windows XP too, but I use my other more reliable, much older ASUS board for Windows XP retro gaming. This one is just driver-wise, it's crap. Anyway, that'll be enough for now. Thanks for watching.